right, so picture Europe in 1914.
Okay.
A continent teetering on the edge, right?
Yeah.
Empires are kind of like
Yeah.
flexing their muscles, tensions are running high,
Hmm.
and the whole world is just holding its breath, waiting for, that one spark
Yeah.
to ignite the powder keg.
Yeah, and history unfortunately tells us that spark didn't come from some big battlefield or formal declaration of war,
Right.
but from like this seemingly insignificant side street in Sarajevo.
Exactly, and that's what we're diving into today. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne.
Huge implications.
Yeah, and we'll be uncovering not just what happened on that fateful day, June 28th, 1914, but also all the drama and intrigue and that simmering nationalism that made this event the catalyst for, well, global war.
It really is a story full of twists and turns, missed opportunities, and, even a forbidden love story.
Oh yeah, right out of the Habsburg court. So let's travel back to Sarajevo on that sunny June morning. Picture the city decked out in all these festive decorations, crowds lining the streets, eager for a glimpse of the Archduke.
But under that surface of celebration, there was definitely an undercurrent of tension.
For sure.
We have to remember that Bosnia and Herzegovina had just been annexed by Austria-Hungary just a few years earlier, 1908.
Oh, that's right.
And in a land where, nationalistic feelings were already pretty high, the Archduke's visit was seen by many as a real provocation.
It's almost as if he, walked right into the lion's den.
You could say that, yeah, in many ways he did.
Wow.
And the day started with, this almost chilling foreshadowing of what was to come.
Right.
The first assassination attempt.
Right.
A bomb thrown at the Archduke's car.
And it's almost shocking how, casual it was.
Yeah, very much so.
Almost nonchalant.
Right.
And it's also fascinating how Franz Ferdinand reacted.
Yeah.
He wasn't terrified, like you might expect. He was actually furious, more annoyed than anything.
Exactly. And he just insists on continuing with his schedule.
Wow.
Seemingly unfazed by this attempt on his life. But that resolve that, coupled with some really bad decisions, would seal his fate.
Okay, so let's talk about the motives behind these assassination attempts.
Sure.
What would drive these young men to target the heir to this huge empire?
Well, to understand that, we need to look at the rising tide of Serbian nationalism in the Balkans at the time.
Okay.
Serbia really wanted to unite all Serbs under their flag, which clashed directly with Austria-Hungary's hold on Bosnia.
So it was like this big clash of empires.
Yes, a battle for territory and dominance.
And Franz Ferdinand just got caught right in the middle.
Exactly. And you had groups like the Black Hand, which was this secretive Serbian nationalist organization.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them.
They really fanned the flames of that anti-Austrian sentiment, and they actively plotted the Archduke's demise.
So they wanted him gone.
They believed his death would weaken the empire.
Makes sense.
And pave the way for a greater Serbia.
But there's also this really human side to this story.
Yeah.
This deep personal tragedy that's woven into it all. The Archduke's love story with Sophie Chotek.
Ah, yes. Their romance was a total scandal that really shook the rigid Habsburg court.
I can imagine.
You see, Sophie, although an aristocrat, wasn't considered royal enough to marry the heir to the throne.
It's hard to believe those kinds of rules still matter back then.
Oh, they did.
Oh.
And you can imagine the pressure, the barriers they faced.
That must be immense.
It was, and so they ended up in a morganatic marriage.
Right, which basically meant Sophie would never be empress.
Yeah, and their kids couldn't inherit the throne.
So they were total outcasts.
Pretty much ostracized from the emperor and the court.
Wow.
Adding even more fuel to this already volatile situation.
It really is like some Shakespearean tragedy playing out on the world stage.
Yeah, it really is.
And what's even more striking is that there were so many missed chances to stop it from happening.
Yeah, there were a lot of warning signs. It's almost as if fate itself was against Franz Ferdinand.
The security failures were astonishing.
Really?
General Oskar Podgorek, the governor of Bosnia.
Okay.
He actually got warnings about potential threats.
Oh, wow.
But he brushed them off, insisted on minimal security.
So you didn't take them seriously.
He really didn't. Maybe he underestimated how much resentment was bubbling under the surface.
It's mind-boggling to think an event like this, with the heir to the throne in such a volatile place, could be so poorly protected.
It really is.
Wow.
And even within the Austro-Hungarian government, there were all these internal power struggles and different agendas.
Oh,
Some military leaders, like Konrad von Hötzendorf,
Okay.
he actually saw Franz Ferdinand as a problem.
Really?
He wanted a more aggressive stance towards Serbia, and Franz Ferdinand's ideas for reform didn't fit with that.
So it was like this perfect storm.
Exactly.
They've got the personal drama, the political scheming, and that simmering nationalism all coming together on that one day in Sarajevo. It was a powder keg waiting to explode.
And as the day goes on, it feels like everything's just spiraling out of control.
It really does. Those fateful threads were about to tighten, leading towards that tragic end.
Wow. Okay, so stay with us as we continue our deep dive into the assassination of Franz Ferdinand.
We'll be right back after a quick break.
Okay, so we've got this backdrop of simmering tension, right?
Right.
And these security lapses that, in hindsight, seem almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
It feels like at this point, everything's just heading for disaster.
It is. It's a good analogy because at this point, things are spiraling, out of control. And remember that first assassination attempt?
Yeah, the bomb.
That bomb that missed the Archduke's car, it actually ended up injuring several bystanders.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And that's when Franz Ferdinand's, I guess you could say, sense of duty, or maybe even a little bit of stubbornness comes into play.
Exactly. He insists on visiting those who were hurt.
Wow.
Despite the danger, and the motorcade sets off again. But there's confusion, there's miscommunication.
Right.
And then that wrong turn,
Oh, yeah.
they end up on Franz Joseph Street.
And that's where it all happens.
Yeah.
Right outside Moritz Schiller's Delicatessen. Gavrilo Princip, one of the assassins who'd been kind of lurking in the city,
Right.
he sees his chance.
It's, talk about, right place at the right time.
Right.
Or in this case, the wrong place.
Yeah, definitely wrong place.
At the absolute wrong time.
Wow.
The Archduke's driver.
Yeah.
He realizes he's made a mistake and slows down to try and reverse.
Oh, no.
The car stalls.
Of course.
And in that split second, Princip takes his chance.
It's chilling how these, almost random events,
Right.
the wrong turn, the stalled car,
Yeah.
they all lined up perfectly for this tragedy.
They did, and what adds another layer to all of this is Sophie's presence.
Oh, that's right.
She wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
She joined at the last minute,
To be with her husband.
hoping to protect him, be by his side during this tense visit.
But in a way, it might have made him an even bigger target.
It's possible some historians believe that assassins back then, they had this twisted code. They wouldn't deliberately target women.
Oh, wow.
So by being there, Sophie might have made the Archduke a more desirable target.
That's a heartbreaking thought.
It is.
So Princip fires 2 shots.
Yeah.
And both Franz Ferdinand and Sophie are fatally wounded.
And in that moment, the world just changes.
Yeah.
The news of the assassination sends shockwaves across Europe.
Yeah.
Austria-Hungary, already dealing with all these internal divisions and nationalist uprisings, is thrown into complete turmoil.
I can only imagine the grief and anger.
It was immense.
So how did Emperor Franz Joseph react?
His reaction was very stoic, almost detached.
Really?
And remember, this is a man who had already suffered so much loss.
That's right. He lost his wife and his son.
Both in violent deaths, so perhaps he was just numb to the grief.
Yeah, maybe resigned to fate.
It's possible, but there's something else to his reaction.
Oh.
Franz Joseph was a devout Catholic.
Right.
And he believed in, this divinely ordained order.
I see.
And in the assassination, and particularly the morganatic nature of Franz Ferdinand's marriage, he saw some kind of divine retribution.
So he saw this tragedy as a punishment from God.
In a way, yes, but putting the emperor's beliefs aside,
Okay.
the assassination gave Austria-Hungary the excuse they'd been waiting for.
To deal with Serbia.
Exactly.
And that's where those hawkish military leaders we talked about earlier come in.
Yes.
Like Konrad von Hötzendorf.
He saw this as his chance
To crush Serbia.
to consolidate their power in the Balkans.
Right. He'd been pushing for that for years.
Conrad, the chief of staff, yeah.
Wow.
He saw Serbia as a threat, a breeding ground for nationalism that could destabilize the whole region.
So this assassination, as tragic as it was an opportunity for those who wanted a confrontation.
It was, and they moved quickly.
Okay.
Austria-Hungary issued Serbia an ultimatum. A list of demands so harsh, there was almost no way for Serbia to accept without giving up their sovereignty.
So it was a deliberate provocation.
It was a calculated move.
To force Serbia into a corner.
Exactly.
But Serbia wasn't alone, were they?
They weren't. They had a powerful ally.
Russia,
who saw themselves as the protectors of the Slavic nations.
Right.
Serbia appealed to them for help.
And the Tsar had a tough choice.
He did, Nicholas II.
Abandon Serbia or risk a wider conflict.
Exactly. It was a lose-lose situation.
And that's where this web of alliances we talked about comes into play,
It all starts to unravel.
setting the stage for World War I.
Precisely. Germany was pledged to back Austria-Hungary,
Right.
while France and Britain were allied with Russia.
It's like dominoes falling.
It is.
Yeah.
Each nation pulled into the conflict,
Wow.
bound by these treaties and obligations.
And it all escalated so quickly.
It did.
One assassination, and within weeks,
Yeah.
the whole of Europe is on the brink of war.
It's important to remember, though, it wasn't just about alliances.
No.
There were deeper issues at play. Nationalism, imperialism, militarism.
Right.
Europe was a powder keg waiting to explode.
And Franz Ferdinand's assassination was the spark.
It was the catalyst.
So this event in Sarajevo, driven by personal vendettas, political maneuvering, it really exposed the fault lines running through Europe.
It did. It was a tragic convergence of events, a perfect storm that set off a global conflict.
Conflict the world had never seen before.
Exactly. Unprecedented.
It's hard to fathom the sheer scale of what came after Sarajevo.
It really is.
Millions of lives lost, empires crumbling,
Yeah.
the world forever changed. What do you think is the real lasting legacy of this assassination?
Well, many historians see it as the starting point of what they call the short 20th century,
Okay.
a period marked by those two world wars and just unbelievable violence and upheaval.
It's almost as if that one event in Sarajevo, ripped open a hole in time and unleashed these forces that, I don't know, still shape the world today.
In many ways it did, yeah.
It's crazy.
World War I led to, the collapse of empires, redrawing of borders,
Right.
the rise of new ideologies.
Some good, some not so good.
Exactly, a real crucible that shaped the 20th century with all its highs and lows.
And it's so interesting how this event, driven by, these very personal motives, for
Yeah.
instance, fanaticism,
Right.
Franz Ferdinand's defiance, even the emperor's own family issues, it all had such huge, far-reaching consequences.
It's a reminder of how connected we all are,
For sure.
how a seemingly isolated incident can ripple outwards and, change history.
Wow.
Even those who felt totally removed from European politics, they
Yeah.
felt the war's impact.
Through loss, hardship.
Exactly, or just the reshaping of global power.
It's sobering, but, understanding the past, especially events like this one,
Yeah,
it helps us navigate the present, I think.
absolutely. It helps us recognize those patterns, the warning signs. Right.
The ways in which seemingly small things can have these unintended consequences.
It makes you think, what if things had gone differently?
The what ifs are always so fascinating.
They are.
What if Franz Ferdinand had listened to the warnings, canceled the trip,
Right. What if his driver hadn't made that wrong turn?
or if Princip had hesitated just a little longer?
It's almost unbearable to think that those tiny details, that wrong turn, the stalled car, a split second, could lead to such monumental consequences.
But that's the power of history, isn't it?
It is.
It reminds us that nothing's predetermined. Every decision, every action, no matter how small,
Yeah.
it can set things in motion
Wow.
that ripple far beyond our control.
It's both humbling and empowering at the same time.
It is humbling because, we're not always in control,
Right.
but empowering because even our smallest actions,
Yeah.
they can have this ripple effect, good or bad.
So the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, as tragic as it was,
It's like a stark reminder about how fragile peace really is
it is.
and how important it is to understand what shapes our world.
It's a story that continues to fascinate us,
Sure is.
makes us ask questions,
Yeah.
explore possibilities, and consider our own role in shaping history.
I think it's a good place to wrap up our deep dive into the assassination of Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah.
It's a story of twists and turns, personal tragedies, and, that constant reminder that even when things seem inevitable, the power of choice, even the smallest one, still exists.
It does.
If this deep dive has piqued your interest, I encourage you to, explore history
Yeah, dive
and
in.
discover how the past continues to influence our present.
It's all connected.
And be sure to join us next time on The Deep Dive as we continue to uncover the most captivating moments in history.
We'll see you then.